is Nikki. As a little girl growing up, I had a happy life until I turned 8 years old. Then my life became one that I no longer enjoyed as a little girl. The reason I say this, it's because a family member decided to hurt me in the worst way by molesting me, touching me in places they shouldn't have been touching a little girl, being as they were an adult. This person took my innocence by hurting me in the worst way. I was scared to tell my parents. I was confused at what was happening to me and just trying to understand why this was happening to me. It made me feel ashamed, broken, and unclean.
I was 8 years old when this started. I did question why it was happening to me. I thought I did something wrong. I thought that I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time when this happened to me. Like, was because I was in this place, was this supposed to happen to me? Was he supposed to touch me in these ways? I didn't tell anybody. I was scared to tell anybody because the way he looked at me, the way he told me, shh, don't tell, because if you tell anybody, I'm going to get you and it's not going to be pretty. So 8 years old, I was scared to death to tell anybody. I wanted to. I wanted to tell my sisters. I wanted to tell my mom, most of all. I wanted to tell her that someone was hurting her baby. So it started by just touch of the legs, touch of the arms. And then after a while, I guess, progressed to the rubbing of the legs and in the private areas, the kissing, the laying me on the floor. And then as time went on, it got worse. While along with me and him, there was many times, especially at the place he was employed at. At night, he would clean, and my mom would ask us to go with him because he was so good to us. But in my mind, I was just thinking, like, Mom, if you only knew why he was good to us, because of what he was doing to me. So at night, we would clean our office building. I would go in the bathroom and just be cleaning the bathroom, and he would come and bang on the door and tell me, you got to get out of there. You got to come out. So when you come out, it's going to be on, or something he said to me. So I was scared to death, and I would stand there in the mirror and just say, why is this happening to me? And just cry for my mom, just to come and get me, to understand what I was going through. So as I went out of the bathroom, he would be waiting, and he would set me on top of the table. He would go get a stool so he could be at my private area's length. And he would start having sex with me on the counter. I would scream for my mom. He would cover my mouth up so I couldn't call out for my mom. And just have sex with me over and over and over and over. And then he would tell me to go to the bathroom and clean myself up. As I came out of the bathroom, he would hold my hand like he was like my boyfriend or something, and lead me to the car, lock the door of the building, and lead me to the car. And as going home, he would always stop on this back road and rape me again in the car. Have this full-fledged sex with me. Take off my panties, pull back the seat, and just have sex with me. He would ask me, things I didn't even understand. Am I coming? Did it feel good? I don't know. Was supposed to feel good? No, it didn't feel good. It did not feel good. And these things would happen over and over. It felt like I was sometimes in this cornfield where he would just take me in these dark places and just have sex with me over and over and over. And again, I couldn't understand why this was happening to me as a little girl, because I was never a fast little girl. I was always quiet and just laid back. So I couldn't understand why this was happening to me. Just to continue to, go on, he would call to my house and ask my mom, could we come down to help him do something at his house? And again, my mom would make us go because he was always good to us. So when I went to his house just to see what he wanted, I knew he didn't want anything. He just wanted to hurt me again. And he did. As I came in the door, he would start to kiss me, start to feel my private areas, just suck on my breast, take me to the middle room, lay me on the floor, and just have sex with me again. I cry out for my mom again, asking her, please come and help me. I don't know how to cry out for myself. I don't know how to tell you what's going on, because he told me, shh, don't tell. And as I would leave, he would make me clean myself up, put my panties back on, and again, just tell me I better not tell anybody, because nobody would believe you anyway. So these are some of the things I went through. And again, not understanding why it was happening to me, why I deserved this. I was the age of 23 or 24 when I told my parents what was going on. My mom was shocked. My dad, he was not so shocked, because he had heard that he was even doing it to other people in the family. But my mom, she had this look on her face, like a guilt look, and I didn't want her to feel like she didn't, to feel guilty, because I couldn't tell you. So don't feel guilty, because I wanted to tell you. And it was just such a pain on her face to know that her baby went through this. And I kept continuing to tell her, Mom, don't feel guilty. You didn't know. I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you so bad, but you didn't know. So don't feel guilty about this. It was not my fault. It was not your fault. And I'm good. I'm good. I received therapy. Therapy was very good for me. Therapy was great for me. I had a wonderful therapist. It was painful at times. It was really painful at times. I had to revisit every area where he raped me at, and tell him how I felt in those different places. That's what she had me do. I need you to go here, and I need you to tell him how you felt at that time when he was raping you. So each time we did it, it was like a healing process that I went through. So after we went to each place to tell him how I felt, we went back to her office. And we did this a couple of times. It was like a thing she wanted me to do a couple of times. And each time I wrote down different things. And so what we did, we burnt the letter that I wrote to him. And she said, when we burn this letter, that's going to be it. That's going to be it. It's going to be such a relief for you, because you've been holding this in for so long. Someone doing this cruel thing to you. So when we write this letter and we burn it, that's going to be it. Your healing process will be starting. And so sure enough, as we did that, it was like this thing just lifted up off me, and it was gone. It was, it's not to say I didn't remember, because I did, but the pain wasn't there anymore. And I felt such a relief. that, even when he passed away, I felt such a relief that he was gone and that he wouldn't have to rape me anymore. I wouldn't have to feel his hands on my breast. I wouldn't have to feel his hands in my private areas. And I just felt so great. Like, and I can just, want to help the world know, like, go ahead and tell. Go ahead and tell. For boys and girls. Just go ahead and tell. Even though they say these things, don't tell, I'm going to get you, whatever. Please tell. Please tell. Because I wish I could have been brave enough to do that in my early years. I did want to let boys and girls know it is all right to tell. Also, I experienced seeing grown men and women still dealing with this, as, in their childhood, and wanting help and wanting someone to understand what they're still going through, how it still hurts, how it still, the pain is still there. But by talking about it, by sharing with other people, it's a healing thing. And therapy is such a big thing. And that's why I wanted to do this documentary, to let people hear my story and to let them know that I'm good. Yes, sometimes I think about it, but not much as I used to. But I am so good that God healed this part of me also.
Between the ages of 9 and 14, I experienced molestation by individuals that my family knew and they were familiar with. I was 9 when it first started. Should have never happened, but it did. And I endured the shh, don't tell. I endured being called fast. I also endured being overlooked by the adults in the room that should have been protecting me. If there's another 9, 10, 11-year-old child, boy or girl, experiencing being touched or molested, like I experienced rape, I would tell them to tell. Do not be quiet. Don't be silenced by fear or any other adults that are telling you as if your voice doesn't matter. I also grew up hearing that children should be seen and not heard. I also grew up hearing that children should listen to the adults. Unfortunately, that caused me harm. So I would tell a 9, 10-year-old child, find an adult that you can actually trust and speak your truth. Tell your story. Say that someone has touched you, have harmed you, have caused you to feel uncomfortable in any way. You can go tell. It was not your fault. And I've had to tell myself that. I recently wrote a book telling myself it was not your fault. And what I chose to do was empower myself to speak the truth about what I've gone through. And I would tell any other child out there the same thing. And I tell my little girl inside of me, Quinnia, it's not your fault. You did the right thing when you did speak up. And I've shared this before. Unfortunately, I had a parent that didn't hear me. She allowed me to be unprotected. She allowed those things to happen when I brought the truth to her. She chose to deny that. And I had to carry that weight for a very long time. So for many years, I blamed myself. And I know that there are others that are probably blaming themselves as well. But I want you to know, it is not your fault. Don't believe the narrative that you're fast, or that you're asking for it, or because you looked a certain way, or walked a certain way, that you brought it on yourself. No, the adults that assaulted you, or touched you, or overlooked you, they failed you. And that's what I tell her, meaning the one in here. I tell her that. They failed you. And I continue to take care of my inner self, my inner child, every day. And I will continue to do that. And I encourage you to do the same. Healing from a childhood hurt is a lifelong process. It takes more than a moment. It's about much more than forgetting. It's messy. it never unfolds in a clean, tidy, straight line. It starts by telling the truth to yourself and then sharing that truth with others when you're ready, one day at a time, so those chains of bondage will begin to loosen and eventually break. Wherever you are on your journey, or wherever your journey is, my assignment today is to tell you, you are a survivor. And not because the hurt was small, and not because time has just elapsed and erased it, and not because you should be over it by now, but you are a survivor because God's hand is bigger than the hands of the one who hurt you. We're told as children that family takes care of family. Mind your manners, respect your elders, do as you're told. We should sweet dreams at night, never talk to strangers, rest well. And we're told that monsters aren't real. And we also heard the saying, there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. There should be no place safer than home. That's not always the reality. What do you do when being at home becomes the center of your nightmares? If I had a superpower, just one superpower, I would time travel. I'd flash in and out of moments, and I would speak to the hearts and the minds of those people who've been hurt. At that particular moment, they realize their lives have shifted, and they need to embrace the process of healing from a childhood hurt because it's become a necessity in their lives. Those moments would be like the first time you're ever told, "Shh, don't tell." No, I would flash in and say, no, run and tell anyone who would listen, and show them where you were touched. You're told you're causing problems. Your family is gonna be out on the street. You're the problem here. Nobody's gonna believe you. It's all your fault because you had to tell. I would flash in and say, no, run and tell anyone who would listen, and you let the chips fall where they may. That first moment when you feel like your innocence is being taken. You don't play with your favorite toy. You're not talking to your sister, your brother, your cousins, your friends. You don't know why you're feeling like you are. I'd flash in at that moment. I say, run and tell anyone who would listen, and let them know how you're feeling, and that you can't even explain it, but you just don't feel like yourself. Then that moment when you're sitting stoic and emotionless in church, you see all the people with the tear-filled eyes and the tear-stained faces. You listen to them say how much the person loved their family, how much they would do everything for their family, how much they're gonna be missed. I would flash in, and I would whisper to you, the way you're feeling right now is okay. You deserve to not be afraid anymore. You deserve to not feel pain anymore. You deserve to have that weight lifted off your shoulders because you're safe. And there will be moments also that will come about in adulthood. Those times, that first time your skin flinches from that loved one's touch. And you don't know why, because it's never happened before, but now you're like, why now? And of course, this is right after you've had a flashback of some dark moments. And of course, this falls on the heels of when you stood and declared that I take thee to be my wedded spouse, to have and to hold from this day forward. And what God has joined together, let no one put us under. Now, all of a sudden, this is what's happening, and you just don't know why. I would flash in and say to you, you're safe. You're not 8 anymore. That person who hurt you, they're dead and buried. That those old shadows, those monsters, memories that all of a sudden they've been stirred up, your spouse is not the one who hurt you. Your spouse is not the one who hurt you. Your spouse is not the one who hurt you. Don't give that evil presence 1 second of your new marriage, your new life that you are ready to embark upon. I would tell you, Even though I'm in that time with you, I would say run and tell, run and tell, run and tell any credible therapist at that time. And I know we've all heard what happens in our house stays in our house. It's the silence that keeps you in bondage. It's the silence that holds you captive. Telling someone, sharing your truth with someone, it what lightens the load, and it helps you start on that process. You learn as an adult that your sibling was also hurt by the same one that hurt you. And immediately that guilt starts to choke you to the point where you can't breathe, and it's saying, if only you had told, nobody would have been hurt. I flash in at that moment and I say, no. Because one, you were a child. You were scared, you were threatened, you had no power to stop what was happening to you. And you didn't even understand what was happening to you. You had no responsibility. It didn't belong to you. Neither does the blame nor the shame. It's not your fault. The responsibility, the accountability belongs to the one who caused all the hurt, not the child who survived it. Then I would say run and tell, run and tell, run and tell, because guilt is a liar, shame is a thief, and neither one should be assigned to you. You don't deserve either one. I would tell you, hold your sibling close. Not in guilt, but in love and in trust, in healing and in shared understanding, because what you both went through never should have been your reality. You never should have faced it. And now I can say, look, go back, look at the pain, look at the hurt, look at the anguish. None of it defines you. You are a survivor. The process of healing from a childhood hurt is not fast, but it's reality. It teaches you to let the pain out so you can heal. It helps you, it brings you to that place where you can acknowledge God's work. You can acknowledge that God does not find, He's not ashamed of your story. He doesn't find fault in you. He wants to give you power to share your story with others, to help them. You're not broken. You're healing one layer at a time. I know, looking back now, you realize and you see that abusers, they pray and depend on your silence. They do. So, right now, if anyone ever comes to you and says, shh, don't tell, activate the process of healing from a childhood hurt, because you are a survivor. And you run and tell, run and tell, run and tell anyone who will listen.
You can purchase my book on Amazon.com. You can also purchase this on Walmart online and Barnes & Noble online. And Lulu.com/spotlight/N489.
Shh, don't tell.